And we're back. This is part 2 of the tips and tricks for your TouchOSC template. A lot of T's. If you haven't seen the first video, go back and watch that. There's 3 great tips there. Otherwise, enjoy these. All right, number 4. You're trying to keep your template pretty organized. And of course, you can use the text to label things, fader 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. But you can also add in symbols. So you can head to this website, which I'll include the link in the description. And these are a ton of different character codes, different letters and shapes and designs and things that you can send, including these types of things. Let's take this heart, for instance. You click it and you copy it. Let's head over to our template. Let's go ahead and make another label. And then down here in text, we go to default, paste that. It added a little heart there. And you can make that much bigger. Let's say we want that to be 40. Put this size and let's get rid of the background. And now you have this great kind of logo here, and you can get rid of those corners. And now you show that over your toggle. Or maybe you want to organize your faders differently. Let's add a couple different faders and move them all close to each other. And let's give them labels. And let's take this label and let's get rid of the background and get rid of the corners. Copy and move this over. And then let's find a nice character to use. So here under numbers, you can go down here and you have these nice numbers with circles around them. Let's take this 1, copy that, go back to our editor, and here in label 1, let's rename that one with a circle, and let's make this much bigger. Let's go with 25. So it's going to need to be a little bit taller. Let's grab a couple others and add those in. So obviously this isn't completely necessary, but it is kind of a cool way to set up your template. Let's say you want a freeze button. Let's say your reverb is going crazy. Let's go ahead and add a button, make it nice and big here. Let's add a label, and let's add this sign that I just copied over. Let's make it real big. Let's go 45. That's a little radiation signal. Let's get rid of the background, get rid of the outline. And let's say that this was the button you press to kind of abandon the reverb, to stop that sound from echoing and echoing. And number 5 in arranging your template, let's make sure you're using the layers correctly, right? So you can arrange different objects in front of or behind each other. So of course we have this document tree here, and what I just added was this label here. But let's say you also wanted to add some text above this, and that was the label, and you wanted this to be blue for some reason. So it did have a background, you didn't have any outline, and you needed that to be right here. But it kind of covers up your little sign back there. So you can select that sign, right click it, arrange. You can either move forward or bring to front, and perhaps that's the look and feel for something you want. Of course, that's a more abstract example, but it's good to know, and that functions similar to a lot of different programs. Perhaps you're used to something like Adobe InDesign or Photoshop or Illustrator. They all have that type of layering that you can work within. And again, it keeps your template a little more organized. Okay, so for the last tip, number 6, let's take a look at grids. So here in our template, let's go ahead and right click and add a grid. And you can see these are a set of 4 faders. But you can change this if you go down here to grid. Of course, we can change our color. We can change the visibility, the background, all that stuff. But let's say you wanted more. You can increase the rows, increase the columns, and you can change them from faders to buttons. Perhaps you just want boxes to play with, whatever. there's a ton of different options for you to play around in. But for right now, let's just do buttons. And let's make these toggles on press. So right now on our iPad, we can see that we're just turning everything on and off. That's great. But let's say that we wanted to change the colors for some of these. That way it just kind of fits better into whatever template we're working with. So let's go ahead and right click this and you can ungroup. And now they are individual objects. You can play around with them and delete them if you wanted. But what we're going to do is change the color for some of them. Let's say we want it to be green for all of the ones in a diagonal. Now you could get spicy with this and change it to a wave of different colors, maybe a gradient, but that's just going to take a lot of time. Or maybe you want to select all these and change them from rectangles to hexagons. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and select these because now if you wanted to assign them different MIDI signals, you'd have to do that one by one. But originally we put in a grid. Let's select them all, right click, let's group them back together again. And now it's back kind of where we had it, except we changed the colors, right? But what are we going to get when we send signals? So now you have your grid set up. Let's select this, head down here and add a MIDI message. And we can turn off receive because we're not really receiving anything here. And let's say we want it to go with fall because these are toggles. And we'll change the program channel to, let's say 10, doesn't really matter. And let's try it out. So to see this, let's go to view and then toggle. And then let's hit play on the editor. And here you can see as we turn on each toggle what the CC is, and it's going up by row. So this can be a great tool to control, like I said before, oscillators, or let's say you're commanding different instruments and playing them in live sound. This is a great way to control all of that. You could also organize them a lot tighter together and then group them, and then you could add that MIDI message. Just make sure if you input a grid and then you ungroup them to change the color, that is going to remove any MIDI message. So you'll have to add that MIDI message last. So these are 6 quick tips, or not so quick tips, that you can use for your OSC template. Hopefully it helps you out with whatever it is that you're trying to build, whether it's something for live, something for recording, or just for composing. There's a lot of different ways to implement these into your template, and I encourage you to explore them, especially the symbols. I find those super useful. Hopefully you got a lot out of this. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more things to cover and some really cool templates that other people have built that we're going to feature here on the channel. So be sure to subscribe and check out for that. Also, you can join the Discord server and the Facebook group. Those links are in the description below. And finally, I wanted to mention that with all of these videos and with all the different things that are going on with TouchOSC, I've added this to my website. So you can go to timcorpus.net and find more information, templates, scripts, all sorts of stuff for TouchOSC there. So check out the site and I'll see you next time.